there, I'm Suzanne Boyd. We welcome Rebecca Remley. She's the CEO of Wetherspoon Organic Holdings. Rebecca, thank you very much for joining us on MNA TV. So tell us about Wetherspoon and Manuka honey. I don't think a lot of people know what Manuka honey is.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Suzanne. We, although we've been working at it, we've been trying. Manuka honey is a product that comes from New Zealand. It's the plant, the Manuka plant, grows in New Zealand. For some reason, it doesn't grow well anywhere else. They've tried to transplant it into many other countries, but the plant grows heartily in New Zealand, and the bees gather the nectar and make honey, and we harvest the honey.
There are many health benefits of Manuka honey, so it's not just like regular honey.
Absolutely. And actually, to your point, all honeys have some anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties, but for some reason, Manuka honey has just got a much higher level than any other honeys.
So you were brought today to kind of talk about the disruption that's happening in the food industry. And what would you credit that with? What's causing the disruption?
You know, I think the entrepreneurial spirit has always been kind of alive and well, and the natural and specialty industry is just, it's a natural fit for folks that have that kind of spirit. We all eat, we all have a connection to food, and folks that have a special affinity for a certain diet, a certain dietary issue, they're very driven toward starting a project. And so, and for a lot of products, it's a relatively low barrier to entry. And so the natural and specialty industry is just full of entrepreneurs. And at the same time, we're seeing that large CPG companies don't have the resources or the right personnel or the right combination of those things to create small entrepreneurial innovative brands within their companies. And so the fact that entrepreneurs are growing these brands on their own, and then the large CPGs are very interested in acquisition at some point.
So you were brought on after the acquisition of Wetherspoon. Talk to me about some of the challenges that you're seeing on the back end of that.
Right. You know, it's at any time that you come in and you're dealing with a founder culture, there's time that needs to be spent just with the folks, with the personnel. This is the way that we've done things. Well, why have we done them this way? Let's talk through it. Let's talk through the goals that we want to achieve, and then how we get from where we are to where we want to go. The team has been fantastic. That part's been relatively easy. At the same time, we've been trying to rebrand, come out with innovation, at the same time that the industry in New Zealand has come out with some new regulation that really was not in place prior to this. Because of the lack of regulation, there's been a little bit of loss of confidence from consumers that now we have an answer for, which is very exciting for the future.
Yeah, but dealing with that when it's happening, I'm sure was very difficult.
Exactly.
What about your online strategy, your digital strategy? How important is that?
Absolutely important. You know, we're all seeing the same thing, right? That online is becoming a bigger, larger part of our lives. The food and beverage industry is lagging in other hard goods and you know, personal goods, but it'll come. Manuka honey specifically is actually lends itself very well to e-commerce because of the size, the weight, the value. And the fact that for right now in the United States, it's not as prevalent on grocery shelves. And so natural food stores, drug stores, and some of the more progressive grocery stores have absolutely put it on the shelves. But for consumers that don't have one of those retailers close to them, e-commerce is a good option.
Yeah. All right. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us on MNA TV. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne.